Hey guys, in this third video of this three-part series about narcissism and seniors learning how to crack the narcissistic or narcissism code, we're going to be talking about gray divorce and breaking free of the abuse that happens a lot of times with narcissistic spouses. Stick around, I'm going to dive into this, and hopefully this will be a great tool for you that maybe have experienced a gray divorce and how to overcome that in the future moving forward. Hey guys, my name is Kelby Hightower with Medicare Hub. Many of you guys know us for doing Medicare health plans. We're an independent insurance agency that specializes in Medicare health plans. We're here to make your life easy by making Medicare simple. I would encourage you guys to watch and like, subscribe, and share our content when it comes to our other YouTube, when it comes in and around the evolution of Medicare and growing in all things dealing with Medicare. But I also like to sometimes take a pause, step aside, talk about real life application things to allow us to grow as people, especially for those that are 65 and older. We've been talking about narcissism, how to crack the narcissistic codes or code around narcissism. Today we're going to be talking about gray divorce and exactly what gray divorce is. Gray divorce is really this kind of a black cloud that hangs over maybe you as a spouse or a divorced person that was dealing with a spouse that was narcissistic. And narcissistic personality disorders of people that are always projecting, deflecting, defending, attacking, reverse. They're always the victim and they're always making you as the offender. Years and years and years of that traumatic emotional abuse in a marriage creates what causes gray divorce. And out of the divorce, all of a sudden you have this broken person divorcing themselves away from a very problematic situation. And that's a great thing. If this has been you and you know, there's really kind of three levels of abuse that can occur that justifies a reasonable you know, excuse to get a divorce. One is obviously, you know, infidelity in the marriage, but also there's emotional, physical, and mental abuse. And if you have come under emotional, mental abuse for years and years and years from a narcissistic, abusive person, it has beat you down as a person, it's devalued you as a person, and now we have a growing epidemic. The divorce rate now among those that are 50 years old and older has doubled in the last few decades. And a lot of these people, while some might see this as a positive trend towards personal growth, the reality for many seniors is that these gray divorces are often the result of years of emotional abuse endured in silence. So many times in a healthy, what's viewed as a healthy marriage, you have a narcissistic husband or wife. A lot of times it is the man being narcissistic towards the wife. Out in public, they're like Prince Charming, you know, Princess Leia. I mean, they're the perfect couple. They've evolved and maybe they've been extremely successful, maybe extremely successful in business, and nobody ever really understands what is happening behind the closed door. And you'll often hear me talk about this in leadership and just life principle in general. You never know, and I never know what's going on behind your closed door of your house, and you never know what's really going on behind my closed doors, because guess who lives behind my closed doors? Me, my wife, and our 4 children. And guess who lives behind your closed doors? You. So if you've come out of this situation and been divorced at 50 years of age, it's called the gray divorce. You've left in this cloud. I want to go over just some things you can do as a person just moving forward. One, realizing that you've been the victim of a narcissist, and that all the mean, hurtful, controlling aspects of that spouse being projected on you doesn't make you a miserable person. You've stepped away, you've decided to cut the cord when it comes to the abusive, emotional, and mental abuse that you've suffered, and you're stepping outside of marriage. And there's actually life outside of marriage dealing with a narcissistic spouse and moving forward in your life. If it's been 50 years of age or 65 years of age, you know, and it's crazy. Over the last 17 plus years of me doing this business, over the last 10 years, I've known spouses and they'll call and say, hey, we're not married anymore. And I'll go, oh, well, what happened? Because I've been out in their homes and I've sat in front of them, and both of them seem like great people. And then all of a sudden they kind of uncover, like, you know, you didn't live with them. And typically that reflects back to this person's just continual emotional abusive person, and a lot of times that comes from a narcissistic mindset. And this video is just all about giving you an encouragement to move forward. Get around groups of people. One of the best things you can do, and one of the top things I wanted to share with you today is community is essential for growth. Involve yourself, whether it be a church community, a growing group community where you're around other maybe abused or battered spouses that are coming out of the same type of marriage, and you're getting counseled around people that have lived through the same narrative. I don't know, I've had a healthy marriage of 23 years. My wife has not been a narcissist. The majority of our marriage, we're all narcissistic, have some tendencies towards that at times. But I've been blessed to not be in that. So you need to be around other people that are growing and progressing in that, also getting wise counsel. So community, counsel, and then just collectively having a clear vision for what you want in the future. And what's going to happen is if you get into another relationship with another person that you're progressing in a relationship with, you want to bring them back through the cycle of your community that you're around, your friends that you're around in that community. Let them be the litmus test of whether or not this person is a good quality person, and let time occur before you jump into a heated relationship and back into a bad marriage. A lot of times people get on to what's called a crazy cycle, and a marriage is talked about by Gary Chapman in a book that he wrote about marriage. And in the marriage, you know, a lot of times we get into an argument and it's like this crazy cycle. We just keep on doing the same thing on repeat. And people will do that with life cycles when it comes to marrying the wrong spouse. So what do I say? Bring them back through the community, the therapy, and then on the outside of that, if they're a good person and willing to do the work with you in community and in therapy and in marriage therapy and counseling and growing as a person and really learning whether or not they are good, bad, or indifferent, then you can progress in that relationship. Outside of that, you may find yourself in a crazy cycle, being back in a relationship with another narcissistic person. The reality is sometimes it's easier to lean toward, and sometimes it's like, if you've cut yourself and you have a little bit of blood, shark will feed on blood. So you've got wounds and you've got things there that haven't healed properly. And for some reason, when you get around certain types of people, they can smell or sense that, the vulnerability of who you are as a person. And the narcissistic people like people that are vulnerable and are weak because they can control and oppress them. And very easily they enter into a relationship and you're in a broken relationship again. Guys, I hope this video series has helped you. If you've fallen susceptible to any of the narcissistic tendencies, and you have now some steps you can crack and break the narcissistic code. If you need additional help, reach out to therapy, reach out to a spiritual counselor, a church pastor, somebody like that. I am not a licensed therapist. I'm here just to encourage you and to equip you. And ultimately, our agency is all about making your life easy by making Medicare simple. I want what's best for you, and I want to see you grow and really evolve into the last quarter of your life and do some great things. We appreciate you, and if you need help, reach out to us. Until next time, have fun. We'll talk to you soon.